My name is Sambaya. I'm working in a temple. I came on R1 visa, sir. My visa expires by May 31st. How much time to file for green card, sir? Is there any time limitation?
Well, while you're in status, you have to file your 360, I-360 and the 485.
Due to this
You
pandemic
are required to be in
situation.
status. So while you're still on an R1, you should file it.
Okay. So, madam, if it applies, how much time it takes, madam, for getting green card?
Again, that is under a separate category, EB4, I believe. So depending on what the processing time is, the 360 processing time they're going to take into consideration, which I believe is a few months. And then you can file adjustment of status if your visa number is available at that time, depending on whenever you're filing. So look at the visa bulletin, see if your visa number is available. Then it's just again processing time for the green card, which is 12 to 18 months. So remember, you only need to be in status when you file. Once you file the application, you can let your R1 lapse. But remember, if the 360 gets denied or the 485 gets denied, then you fall out of status if you don't have an R1 non-immigrant status. And then you have to leave the country. And then,
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Madam, if I have the B1, is it possible to stay here, madam, after completion of the time?
You can file for a change of status to a B1.
Okay.
Yes, you can. But then filing a green card is a different story.
Because, I'm having the B1 visa also, but I came here on R1 only. Is it there any possibilities to stay after
so if you don't want to leave the country, then you have to file for a change of status to a B1.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Another question coming here. What are the documentation requirements for the L1 application?
There are quite a few documents, and again, these are the so you need to show US company documents, and you need to show documents from the parent company as well. So you have to be able to show that both the US company as well as the foreign company are have bona fide businesses, and so that has to be proved. You can't just make a statement and say, it's a bona fide business. In order to show that they're both bona fide businesses, you need basically their copy of their lease, where they're operating from, for both parent as well as US company, their tax returns, their contracts, invoices, whatever, to show volume of business, whatever you can show, contracts, invoices, client letters, whatever you have. Also, to show that actual office space exists. In addition to lease, you also would need utility bills. If you own the space, then you need to show property documents, and then to showcase your product as to what you're selling or what services you're offering. You might want to print out the website and put in the website printouts or brochures, or put in photos of the office. Bills of lading, airway bills, if that's applicable. And in addition to that, you want to show, if it's a new company, and I was talking about this, if it's a startup, you want to submit a business plan from the US company to show that you do intend to employ XYZ employees, and you need to show then a future organizational chart, a proposed organizational chart. If you are an already established company, then you will already have an org chart, and there's a requirement, as I said, that the L1 has to supervise two levels of personnel. So you have to show that as well. You have to show his name and then the personnel that he's supervising in the org chart. And in order to show that the two levels that he's supervising are professional positions, you'll have to give the job description of each of the employees that he's supervising and their educational qualifications as well. And then in order to show that there's a relationship between the parent and the foreign company, right? You have to show that there's some kind of relationship between the two companies. You have to show the certificate of incorporation and the share certificates. Main thing is the certificate of incorporation for both the US and the foreign companies, just to show that the company is registered and it exists. But the share certificates will tell you what the ownership of the company is, and will show the relationship between the two companies. For example, if the Indian company is a parent company and the US company is a subsidiary, then all the shares of the US company will be in the name of the parent company. And that's how you prove that it's a parent and subsidiary relationship, just to give you one example. So those are the documents. Also, you will show maybe how you got the seed money, how you got the startup capital, and perhaps you got that from the parent company and in the form of a wire transfer or money coming into your bank account. So you'll have to show the bank statements to show that those funds, as to how that money came in, the repatriation or the wire transfer, whatever it might be, proof of funds. Then of course, as I said, bank statements to show that, and also bank statements to show that your company is financially sound and you have enough money to operate at least. I mean, so the starting capital, if it is a startup, should be enough. There is no minimum or maximum amount, but it should be enough for you to at least operate for 3 to 6 months. Enough to give you a down payment for your office space, to pay your employees the first few months of operation, and take care of utilities, etc. So whatever that money might be, you have to show that as money that is available in the bank. And it's a good idea to show that that has come from the parent, from the foreign company, as I was saying earlier. Also, you have to prove, remember, that the executive worked as in an executive level position in the foreign company as well. So then letter from the foreign company showing what the duties of the person were, and also your pay stubs from the foreign company, and your tax returns showing that you worked there for at least a year. That's another requirement, right? So you have to document every requirement that there is, the L1 requirement. So that's what we're doing here, documenting every single requirement. So those are some of the documents that are required, and some of them are common. For example, to show viability of both the company's tax returns, lease, etc., brochure, org chart from the parent company also, because you have to show that he previously worked as an executive. So these are some of the documents that are required for an L1.